Hi, my name is Angie Pascale. I'm the Communications Manager at Location3 Media. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about Facebook community pages. Facebook community pages, they came out about mid-April, and they kind of got lost in all the hubbub that was happening around the security issues and the social plugins and everything else that was announced at F8. So they kind of slipped by under the radar, but they are pretty important to brands, and I just wanted to address that and kind of explain the advantages, the disadvantages, and how a brand can take advantage of these Facebook pages or what they should do about them. They are not a fan page. They're not controlled by a brand like a brand's fan pages. There are 3 tabs to the Facebook community pages. The first tab is called Info. It has a feed of branded search terms that are from people that have not locked their status updates or their wall posts. So anyone out there, any user out there on Facebook that has not set their wall to private, they can show up on Facebook community pages if they use a brand term on it. So say they said something about drinking a Pepsi, that would show up on Pepsi's community page. So the first tab is Info, and it has those posts, and it also has Wikipedia information on it. So it just aggregates data from Wikipedia, so really just pulls it all in there, everything that's in the Wikipedia post, if the brand has one. And then the other 2 tabs are really just that Info tab split up. One's the related posts, and the other is the Wikipedia. There's also a space for an image on the community pages, and it will typically pull the logo or whatever the main image from Wikipedia is to that page. The difference between fan pages is it's not controlled by the brand at all. The brand has no control. All of this time and money that they put into creating this fan page and this community where their fans can come together and engage and get to know the brand more and learn more about it. There's none of that allowed on the community pages. So people are very upset that it almost degrades their brand in some ways because they can't control any of this information. So that's one of the reasons people are so upset. Also, the information that it's pulling, it's not terribly accurate. There's a pretty funny example of this. There's one community page called My Stupid Boss, and it's pulling anytime anyone uses those 3 words, my, stupid, or boss, in a sentence, it's pulling that to this page. And they don't necessarily have to be in succession. It's just anytime that those 3, or sometimes only 2, are in that post, it pulls. So people could potentially be getting in trouble for this, saying something about their stupid boss when they aren't really. But that just goes to show that it's not pulling, it's not terribly accurate, and it's also not pulling every single post that comes up. What brands can do now, they can sign up to be a contributor at some point. Facebook is not saying when that point will be, and when you can just simply, when you go to your community page, there's a little link that says sign up to be a contributor. And you can also suggest, if it hasn't already been done, suggest the Wikipedia page. The timing on that, I can't guarantee. We suggested ours about a month ago, and it still hasn't begun polling, so that's just kind of a wait and see kind of thing. I kind of already said some of the reasons why it's bad. It's brands that have worked so hard to create this actual fan page that they control. Their brand image is kind of being degraded. Fans may not know which one's the real one, especially if the logo is pulling from Wikipedia. So there may be some confusion. There may be some information on there that has nothing to do with them. Especially could be important for certain verticals that have to be very strict on what they say and how they say it. Also, the other bad thing is there's no engagement. If someone posts something on there, you can't, as the brand, reach out as the brand and say, hey, I saw your post about Pepsi and just wanted to tell you this. You can't do that. You could reach out as a user, so use your personal Facebook account. Some people don't want to do that. Sometimes it doesn't make sense from a brand, and sometimes the users may not appreciate that. So that's why it's bad. But there's always kind of a lighter side to it. So it's good because you can see people that are talking about your brand that you may never have seen before. These people that haven't necessarily liked your fan page, they could still be talking about you. So to use the Pepsi example again, this person may not have liked Pepsi, but they're actually talking about it. So you can, as Pepsi or as the brand, you can see this where you couldn't previously see it. Again, you can't interact, but sometimes it's nice to be able to see that you can reach out to them in other ways. You can address the issue, say on your blog or on your site or on your fan page directly. So it kind of lets you listen in. Maybe you can't have a dialogue with these people, but you can at least hear what's going on and then try to address it in other forums. So Facebook in the past has always been they do things first and then they go back and fix them and they get feedback. So I assume that that's how it will be with this again. People aren't being so vocal about this. So really the key is, if you're very angry about this, and you should let them know that this isn't right, that your brand is being represented in a way that you don't want it to, if it is, let Facebook know, because they often will make changes based on user feedback. Unfortunately, they don't ask for it first, but in this age, that's kind of how things happen, is you do it and then you see how it works and you go back and change it. And Facebook's very willing to do that. So what can be done right now is speak up. Tell Facebook that you aren't too happy about this. I wouldn't be surprised if things change in the next couple of weeks, and they may not make a big announcement about it, since the privacy issue seems to be the main concern. So stay tuned, but make sure that you're at least listening to what's going on your community page, and that you've signed up to make sure that you can be a contributor at some point in that. So that's all we know right now, but we'll keep you updated. Thanks.